Trudeau hell-bent on making sure that he keeps vaccine mandates as a tool that he could use again in the future. So the House of Parliament has denied a bill that was put forward by the Conservatives, trying to say, hey, that was not a good thing that we did, for a few years there, mandating what people can and should or have to put in their bodies and using coercion tactics in a method, in a manner to make sure that that happens. So they put forward a bill saying, no more mandates. We should ensure that we don't do that again. That was a giant mistake. Let's not do that again. It was actually squashed. MPs defeat Pierre Poilievre-backed anti-vaccine mandate bill. They defeated Pierre from trying to make sure the government doesn't do something horrible again. That's what that reads to me. I don't know. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know if you think that that means something different. Conservative leader says Canadians should decide for themselves what they put in their bodies. It's in your headline, and you're saying that this is a bad thing. That was a thing that we should be a right, a freedom, something that we should be protecting. Well, anyway, let's get on with this article. MPs overwhelmingly voted to kill a bill Wednesday pushed by Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre that would have banned Ottawa from again imposing COVID-19 mandates on federal workers and the traveling public. Now, this came only because the court system has failed us. There has been lawsuits one after another coming in and challenging these mandates. And as the court cases came in, they would just pull the mandates and then cry that it was moot. It was a moot case. It was no longer infringing on your rights. So therefore, let's not even look at this in court. This is absurd, of course, that our court system allowed this. I mean, anytime someone is infringing on your rights, someone's breaking into your house, they take your things, and you might say, well, he doesn't have those. I don't have those things anymore, and I'm not breaking into your house currently. I think the case is moot. I mean, obviously that would get thrown out, and this should be, these arguments should have been thrown out. But no, our court system failed us. So, of course, the Conservatives came forward with this bill, making it so that the government can't do this again. They are happy to do it again. A vote of 114 to 205, MPs agreed to drop the private member's bill C-278 that Pierre Poilievre first introduced last year when he was running for the party's leadership. The bill was subsequently picked up by the Conservative MP Dean Allison, and a noted anti-mandate critic, as if that's a bad thing. I love how the CBC writes this stuff. Like his leader supported the trucker convoy that loudly opposed the government approach to COVID-19 and was massively supported by the Canadian people. If you forget, they raised $10 million twice in just in a week. Unbelievable. Its failure to pass was not unexpected. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Poilievre is choosing to wear a tinfoil hat by backing this sort of divisive legislation. I can't believe that he even said that this is divisive, as if the COVID-19 pandemic, what they did with the mandates was not divisive. Pitting Canadian against Canadian in this and telling people that they were either, you're essential or you're not essential. This is unbelievable that he would say that this is divisive, saying that everybody should have a right to choose what they put in their body. Now, of course, here is Justin Trudeau in his flamboyant statement saying just this.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, both the RCMP and CBSA's Professional Integrity Division are investigating, and the CBSA has also launched an internal audit to look into contracting at the agency. But once again, Mr. Speaker, when the Leader of the Opposition talks about dividing Canadians, he doesn't actually want to accept that over 80% of Canadians chose to get vaccinated during the pandemic, Mr. Speaker, and he continues to play.
So I have to cut this off because, yeah, a bunch of people chose to. A lot of people were coerced into doing it. A lot of people did. Well, it's a choice. You're going to lose your job, but here's the choice. Here's the choice. A lot of people, yes, 80% of people took the first shot, not both shots. A lot of people turned back after the first one with reactions that they got, or just fear of seeing other people that got reactions. So it was a lot lower for the second shot, and the booster was even lower. People did not want to do this. And of course, anyone who didn't take both of the 2 shots at the time were considered unvaccinated, and they were the dirty masses, and they were even if they had medical exemptions, it didn't matter. They were demonized by this guy, the Prime Minister of Canada. So yeah, you're saying 20% of the population did not want to do this? Well, that's 20% of the population didn't want to take the first one. A lot larger number of the population. So who's divisive? This guy.
Play divisive games. He continues to play divisive games to try and divide Canadians on a matter core to public health and public safety. We have always stood up for the safety of Canadians, while he chooses to wear a tinfoil hat, Mr. Speaker.
All right, tinfoil hat, yada yada. Not for the safety of Canadians that were concerned about their health and what impacts that mandated shot could affect in their health, and it did affect a lot of people's health, and that's turning out to be a big, horrible thing on the government. Now, Pierre Poilievre brought this up in the House of Parliament to say this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As I said at the outset, I'm running for Prime Minister to put Canadians back in control of their lives by making Canada the freest nation on earth. Freedom includes bodily autonomy, the freedom to decide what people put in their own bodies. And that is why I was proud to introduce a private member's bill in the House of Commons that would put an end to COVID mandates in all of the federal sector.
So it's not putting an end to vaccines. No, it's putting an end to mandatory vaccines, something that's redundant in a free, fair, and open society, mandating and coercing people to take a medication. This is not something indicative of a free society.
I want to thank the honourable member from Niagara West for having adopted my private member's bill so that we could move it forward even faster. Now, before the Prime Minister proceeds once again to maliciously divide and attack, let me remind him that the position put forward in this bill is now the position not only of common sense conservatives, but it is also the position of the majority of provincial governments, of the Liberal member for Louis Hébert, of the Military Review Complaints Commission, the tribunal responsible for hearing grievances from members of the armed forces. And I will remind the position of the Prime Minister,
of which there's 2 giant lawsuits, tort lawsuits that are going on, one with over 300 military service members and one with over 100 military service members. You can go check out Valor Law to read more about those lawsuits, and they are going through. Those ones weren't given the moot status. They are actually going through.
Minister, that the position reflected in the bill is now his position. Now, you might question why I would say that. The reason is that he had the temerity to go on television about 3 months ago and claim he had never forced anyone to get vaccinated, that he claims that it should be a matter of personal choice. He wanted us all to forget the way he divided and insulted and name-called millions of people right across this country, patriotic, law-abiding, decent people. So I
want to show that clip, and I did this in a short a number of months ago, this one showing that, yeah, there are consequences.
To get vaccinated, I chose to make sure that all the incentives and all the protections were there to encourage Canadians to get vaccinated. But the bottom line is, if anyone who doesn't have a legitimate medical reason for not getting fully vaccinated chooses to not get vaccinated, there will be consequences.
Yeah, Trudeau, there are consequences.
And therefore, while not forcing...
And well, not forcing anyone. Some of that footage courtesy of Tyler over at Tanner, over at Tire Roasters Garage. Go check him out as well. But getting back to what Pierre was saying here.
He really believes he never forced mandates on anyone. Surely he'll be happy to vote for this bill to ensure that those mandates don't apply anymore and will never be reimposed again.
And that's the hope.
Let me be clear about what this bill.
So that's the hope there, that bill will not be the thing. But of course, it was the supply and confidence men that made sure that bill got squashed. Yeah, that's right. It was the NDP with the Liberal Party ruling as a de facto majority when disaffected Liberals did not want Justin Trudeau to have the mandate to rule, i.e. having a majority. They gave it over to Jagmeet Singh, who sold everybody out that voted for him and went along with this. Now, this isn't new news. They've been talking about bringing mandates back. Dr. Leslyn Lewis, this is from about 5 months ago. I brought this one up. The WHO, the World Health Organization, declared the pandemic over last week. Again, this was 5 months ago. The Liberals had their convention this past weekend, and their campaign page still promises to discriminate against 6 million unvaccinated Canadians with divisive vaccine mandates. Now, it would be a lot more than 6 million of them now, because if you aren't up to date on your boosters, you are not considered fully vaccinated. This is something that they put forward. Now, the party platform still to this day, 5 months later after it being pointed out, still has finishing the fight against COVID-19 as one of their top priorities. As well as a home for everyone. How's that been working out? Better health for everyone. How's that been working out with the we've got emergency rooms that are shutting down on weekends because they just don't have the room for it. More resilient economy, a cleaner, greener future, and reconciliation. Give me a break. Yeah, it's right on the top of their priorities to make sure that people are forced, and they can bring this back anytime that they like, to force people to take this. They're not going to physically force you, but they will with coercion, just as they did last time, and demonizing people, your neighbors, your citizens, your fellow colleagues and workers. This is what Trudeau and his ilk did to this country, and they're trying to say that Pierre and the Conservatives with this bill are being divisive. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of this whole scenario, and how can we move past this and make sure the government never does this again to us if they're not willing to give up that power, even when they're given the opportunity to show that this is the way that Canadians are thinking, and they don't want the government to do this again to us. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.